All right, this is take 2. I tried going out by our house earlier and the wind was just whipping off the water and Mr. Drone was unhappy. So I drove to the other side of the peninsula and here we are. It's Black Friday. We're about 4 weeks out from the New York City Marathon. And I just finished my extremely long-winded blog that you can find on, what is the app called? Wordsmith or Word something. So this is going to be the abbreviated video version. And in case you're wondering, we're filming with the Hover X1 selfie drone and got a Hollyland wireless mic that hopefully is working this time. I did this whole recap a couple weeks ago and was dismayed to find no audio attached. So here we are doing it again. All right, so to get started, the day started with our walk to the Midtown bus at 5:30. The wait was kind of abnormally long. So it took a while to get on the bus and then the bus took forever. We sat on the bridge forever before getting off the bus and really didn't have much time in the village, which was good. No time to get nervous. And before we knew it, we were getting into the corral and then walking to the bridge for the start. We got to see the pro men start and that was cool. Got a little wave from Clayton Young. And then 5 minutes later, wave 1 corral A was taken off. I really didn't have a pace goal for the first couple miles, just wanted to relax, kind of go with the flow of traffic. And the best part of that first mile on the bridge was when a helicopter just came flying, just barely going faster than me. It was at eye level and just slowly passed me on the left next to the bridge. Really epic. And I was just chilling, not really looking at my watch. Come on, drone, get out of the road here. And I missed the mile 1 marker. And at the mile 2 marker, I looked at my watch and it said 12:40. So I was happy with that 6:20 average for the first 2 miles. I knew I could easily settle into what I hoped would be a 6:05 to 6:10 average. So the next 11 miles are in Brooklyn. And as usual, it was totally hype. I just love that section of the New York City Marathon. As far as pace is concerned, my goal this year was to just stick at a heart rate of 150 to 151 because I know I can do that almost forever. Yeah, and then, whew, you almost hit me in the face, buddy. Anyway, yeah, so every once in a while I look at my watch, make sure my heart rate was in that range. And then when the miles clicked by and I manually split it, if it said anything in that 6:10 range, 6:05 to 6:10 range, I was pretty stoked. And that's pretty much where it was. Just kind of chilled out through Brooklyn, enjoyed the sights and sounds. And then the first big challenge is the Pulaski Bridge, which marks the halfway point. And it is steeper than I remembered. But luckily the Pulaski Bridge is not a super long one like Verrazano or Queensboro. When you're nearing the peak of the bridge, you hit the 13.1 mat. And I really wasn't paying too much attention to average pace or predicted finishing time at this point. And yeah, when I hit that mat, I think it said something like 121.45. Math is hard during a marathon, but I did a crude doubling of that and it was right in that 243, 244 range. And I'm like, that'll work, I'll take that. Shortly after the Pulaski Bridge is Queens. And you're only in Queens for a hot minute. I think it might be 2 miles. So I literally have no recollection of Queens or what it's like or what you see. It's mainly just anticipation of knowing that the Queensboro Bridge is coming up. And that's one of the hardest parts of the course, saving up some mental energy for that. So here comes Queensboro Bridge, miles 15 and 16, and it's eerily quiet because there's no crowds on the bridge, and all you hear are the loud footsteps of alpha flies. First mile of the 2-mile bridge is just a steady uphill. I think I calculated out about a 2% incline, which isn't horrible, but it gets you. I tried to not push too hard and burn too many matches. All right, where was I? Queensboro Bridge, and here we go. So yeah, the uphill wasn't as bad as I remembered. I think I just stayed focused on getting through it. It's only 1 mile, and then before you know it, you're at the apex of the bridge and heading down, and you know that the Thunderdome is coming up on First Avenue. You can hear it from probably a 1/4 mile away. So you're coming down the bridge and you have to make the curly Q to get around and under the bridge, and then you come out and there's First Avenue. The crowds are like 10 people deep, and that part's awesome. It's no surprise that these are my 2 fastest splits of the race, miles 17 and 18. But then you realize, damn, First Avenue lasts forever. Yeah, it's like 4 miles straight north going up to the Bronx. And yeah, we were headed into a bit of a headwind, which was the only negative thing about the weather this day. It was 45 degrees and sunny, so absolutely gorgeous day, perfect temps. Little buddy's having a hard time in this wind, but we're gonna keep going. You got it, buddy. Yeah, so had a little bit of a headwind, so every time I thought about making a little move, making a little surge, and I felt that wind, I'm like, okay, no, let's tuck in behind someone, conserve some energy. So that's what I did for those 4 miles up to the Bronx, and then headed over the Willis Avenue Bridge into the Bronx. Now, my early recollections of the Bronx from 2017, 2019 are that it was basically a concrete jungle. It was just totally quiet and dead. But that is so not what it's like now. Now there's cheer zones, bands, DJs, and I mean, you're only in the Bronx for 1.5 miles, so it's like 10 minutes. But yeah, those 10 minutes are pretty solid. I've learned to love that part of the course. All right, next act. So after getting through the Bronx, you head over the Madison Avenue Bridge. Woo, come on. Now you lost me here. Let's go back and get Mr. Joni. Oh, there, you got it? Are we going this way now? All right, I got you. All right. Yeah, these 20-mile-an-hour winds are not making the drone happy, but I'm impressed. It's doing pretty good. We'll see how it turns out. So, Madison Avenue Bridge over to 5th Avenue, mile 21 and yeah, first couple miles are kind of boring.
Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka, let's go! What's your name? What came you for?
Oh, Todd from Green Bay, Wisconsin, man. Let's go.
Let's go. Go get that sub 244.
Oh yeah, baby.
You're looking strong.
Let's go. But you know the real test, the hardest mile of the course, after you hit 23, going up to 24 is this straight uphill headed to the entrance to the park. I was feeling really good. It was just one of those days. Just no stress. I know I slowed down a little bit. I think my split for this mile was 6:25. But for going straight uphill, mile 24 of a marathon, I'll take that any day. And next thing you know, you take that right turn into the park and there's a huge sign that says, "Welcome to Central Park." And how can you not get totally geeked up for that? There's only 2 miles left. I can do anything for 15 minutes. Let's just push. I looked at my Garmin at this point. The predicted finish time was hovering between 2:43:57 and like 2:44:03. I've been just on the wrong side of a minute milestone before, and I'm always thinking, I could have worked harder. I could have dipped under that minute mark. And I didn't want that to happen this time, so I used all my physical and mental energy to just push, which in the park wasn't too hard. Tons of crowd, some good downhills to match any ups. But then when you pop out of the park, for just a hot second, that little stretch on Central Park South is straight uphill. Like, this is brutal. I don't remember this. But again, now you're within 3/4 of a mile, the end of the race. Ain't nothing slowing me down now. And yeah, made that right-hand turn at Columbus Circle, back into the park. You start seeing the international flags, start seeing the bleachers, and I just thought to myself how much work went into this. And I know in the grand scheme of things, it's just running. It's just a marathon. But this is my passion. This is my hobby. I mean, everybody's got to have something, right? And yeah, when you work so hard at something and then you complete a goal, it just feels so good. Feels so good. So I got to the finish line. Of course, I don't stop my watch right away because I don't want to ruin any of the finish line pictures. And when I finally did stop it, it said 2:44:06. And when the official time finally, when I found it on my phone, it was 2:43:57. All right. We're almost done here. On my last battery. So, and I'll get to the technical stuff in a second. But yeah, so I was stoked to get under 2:44. I didn't really have a specific time goal, but my previous New York City PR was 2:46. And so I figured 2:44 was nice. And on this tough course, it probably equates to no worse than a 2:41 on a more reasonable course. Ooh, that guy almost hit my drone, but better than hitting me. So yeah, I was super stoked. Great race. I still think New York City Marathon is the best race in the world. I just love it. The most hyped crowds, the most interesting, varied course that's broken up into defined sections. Yeah, we'll be back again, probably 2026 after going full send for a PR in Chicago 2025. All right, and that's it. New York City 2024. Morning. All right, so what are we doing here? We got the Hover X1 selfie drone. I've got 3 batteries. In good conditions, they last about 11 minutes. I think I'm probably getting no more than 6 or 7 here. But I am very impressed that this thing is working in a snowstorm and 20-mile-an-hour winds. It did not work on the other side of the peninsula when the wind was whipping off the water. That is it. It is Black Friday 2024. So let's end it here. Peace. We out. So just wanted to jump back on for a second, as I remember the name of the blog app that I use is WordPress. So if you like these sorts of race recaps, then yeah, head to my WordPress page. I got a 2,500 word recap of this race, and got recaps of Chicago, Boston, Bayshore. Yeah, just a shameless plug there for some writings that I've been doing. So again, thanks for watching this video. And I'm gonna try not to send Mr. Droney over the water, but this is a pretty epic view. Come over here, buddy. Let's follow me this way. Whew, I can't outrun you. Let's go. Let's go. All right, this is the final take, I promise. I almost lost Mr. Drone into the water over there. Big gust took him over the edge of the road. That was a potential disaster. But anyway, let's check out these views. It's been a good day. I think, what was that, about 4.5 miles in the snow. Yeah,